Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you guys back here. Welcome to my space, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing good, you're having a lovely day, and you're getting some vitamin D chat as per usual. Okay. So today, as y'all can tell, I'm just gonna be doing like a short story time, and I'm not gonna be wearing any makeup because my skin is also breaking out. I don't know if you can tell, but my skin is breaking out. And I'm also feeling so sleepy, so I'm just like, let me do something productive because I feel bad when I'm not productive, by the way. So let's just get straight into this motherfucking video. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share the link with your peoples. Alright? Today we have wine. I know I haven't been drinking in any of my videos lately, but here I am having Oak Ridge, which is like some cheap wine, but it's really nice. And yeah. So anyway, let's get straight into this motherfucking video. So I had met this person. Let's call him, what can I call this guy? This guy needs like a very special name. I think I'll call him Mr. Khan. I feel like he's low-key a con artist, so I'll call him Mr. Khan. Okay. So I met this guy some time ago, and I was actually with my best friend in Sandton. So we had just came back from Gonga. We're hung over a little bit and we're running errands in Sandton Mall. And at that time, I was so single, and I don't know, like, remember what I said when I was talking about lesion, and I was like, I should stop, like, if I start having that feeling of like, yo, different daughter, when I'm single, I shouldn't get into a relationship, right? But this guy wouldn't necessarily say that we're in a relationship. It was a something, but I won't call it a relationship, right? So I met this guy when my friend and I were going into the elevator, and he was coming out, right? So he was coming out, he was looking good, smelling nice, and just out of like pure respect, we had bumped into each other, and I was like, oh, sorry, hi. And he's like, hi, how are you? I was like, I'm good, and yourself? And he's like, I'm good. And then he's like, you're so beautiful, what's your name? Mind you, my friend is in the elevator, and she's like steady, she's holding the trolley, and she's like smiling because she's like, oh my gosh, girl, he's so cute, and everything like that. So we introduced ourselves to each other, and we exchanged numbers, and we got separate ways. Cool. But mind you, this guy is black, a black South African man, Xhosa might I add. But the way he was pronouncing his name and surname, it's as if he's trying to twang it, like, to make it seem like some exotic name. For what reason, I don't fucking know. Cool. My friend and I, we make our way back home, and on our way home, he calls. He's like, hey, I just wanted to like check if the number works. I was like, nah, it works, cool, whatever. Not so long after, guys, this guy invites me to his place. He said that he has his own place. No, actually, before he invited me to his place, this guy would video call me a lot. And I'd like to be honest, guys, I do not really like video calls, especially when I'm not in love with you. Like, if my man video calls me, I'm happy. But like, when we're not in a relationship, I'm just like, no, it's not happening. So anyway, this guy would video call me a lot, and I've noticed that every time we're on a video call, he would mention that now the lady is cleaning, so I'm waiting in the reception. And when I check the background, when you're on a video call, you can like see the background. He's usually like hiding the background with his fucking big head, like hiding the background. And I'm like, okay. Eventually I decided, let me ask this guy, where do you live? He's like, no, I live in Cape Town, but I've been in Joburg for a while, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, sharp. Then he invites me to his place. He invites me to his place. And mind you, My best friend owns a guest house, so at like a proper 5-star guest house. They've received awards and everything. So when I get to this guest house that he's staying, first and foremost, it's in Auckland Park in Joburg. And if you know Auckland Park, you know that it's not. It has. I don't know, man. Auckland Park is not the one, guys. Okay, cool. I get there. I brought myself there, mind you. I brought myself there. This guy did not send me money to go. I was like, you know what, it's cool, let me go by myself. I went there by myself. And then when I get by the guest house where he says he is, I see that, no, man, first and foremost, the wall was covered in those brown cheap tiles. The name of the guest house was falling off the fucking wall. There was this small and dodgy looking gate in the corner and some other weird houses on the side. So while I'm in the car with this bus driver, I'm like, this guest house looks ugly. And he's like laughing. He's like, no, sir, don't say that. Maybe it's nice on the inside. I've heard reviews about this place. So I was like, what reviews have you heard about this place? And he's like, no, I've heard people saying it's nice. Okay, cool. Eventually this guy comes out. And he's looking good as usual, you know, he's big and everything, like, you know, but he's like a bit shorter than me. You see, short niggas are a problem. Short men are a pandemic. Okay, cool. So guys, also I bit my tongue, so I can't really like talk the way I usually talk in most of my videos, because like a piece of my tongue, I almost bit it off, so it's bad. Sorry. Okay, cool. This guy and I hug, and then he just like jumps in for a kiss. Cool, no problem. He's handsome. At the end of the day, he smells really good, very clean. You know, everything's nice. Until we get to his room. That Airbnb room was not the one, guys. Number one, the shower door couldn't close. Number two, the towels in the Airbnb, not the Airbnb, in the guest house was so dirty. The towels in his bathroom were covered in this brown stain, this ugly, oily brown stain. And I asked this guy, I was like, what's this fucking stain? He's like, no, they dyed my hair, da 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 da. So I was like, you're just wiping your hair with the dye. Mind you, and the bathroom was so dirty, the room was dirty. This guy was like, he's so untidy. He's such an untidy guy, let me tell you. Okay, cool. And then he shows me his artwork. So this guy is an artist, like he paints and stuff. So he shows me his artwork, very beautiful. Shows me that he's worked with Connie Ferguson and Somizi and Fusinova, all these prestigious names, he's worked with them. Ne? Sharp. And, oh, it's just my tongue. I'm so sorry. Guys, the way I bit my tongue so badly. Okay, cool. So, in the middle of him showing me all these things, and then he eventually tells me, like, this is what he does, and he was telling me where he comes from, and what and whatnot. Cool. Then I remember, I was like, no, if you know me, guys, now I love food. Don't invite me to a place if you know that you're not going to be feeding me, and don't invite me out if you know that we're not going to be eating something at least, and then I don't want to come. Sharp. So eventually I tell this guy, I ask this guy, what are we gonna have for dinner? He tells me like, no, we'll order something, we'll order some food and whatnot. Cool. Then while I'm like to him, okay, just order food for us. So he's ordering Mr. D. I don't know, there was a problem with it. Like, I don't know, he just had a problem with the Mr. D on his phone and the Uber Eats app. We ended up having to catch an Uber to this other shopping center near this guest house, right? So while we're at the shopping center, he's showing me like, I have a coffee shop that I'm opening here. I used to have a shop here. Like, you know, he seemed like a pathological liar, but at the time, I felt like I was like just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Mind you, I'm also not in love. I'm not like seeing him gaga, whatever. Like, you know, with those lovey-dovey eyes, I'm not seeing him like that. So with everything that he's saying, I'm not impressed. Because you know, with ladies, if you're like in love with a guy and he starts telling you things, you become so impressed with everything. Even if he tells you like, yeah, I beat up that motherfucker down the road, you're just like, oh my gosh. But with this guy, nothing at all. Okay, cool. Then we get to the shopping center, we ordering food. But tell me why the entire motherfucking time we're in the line to buy the food, this guy's complaining about how he feels like people eat too much. Like, yeah, I feel like there should be a week where everyone in this country or in the world just fasts and doesn't eat, because I feel like people just eat too much. Like, eating is just too much of a job. You have to cut the food and chew and chew and chew. And in my head, I'm like, sweetie, I don't want to hear that. You're already blowing your chances before we even got to like the main thing here, you know? Like, why are you telling me about how much you hate when people eat a lot and what and whatnot? Are you broke?
Do you need some money?
Okay, sharp guys. I remember I even gave him money. He still owes me money till today, but we obviously don't talk, so whatever. Okay, cool. Eventually, with all his complaining, he gets food. Now, mind you guys, I need to state that on that day when I went to see him, I was on my period. So when we got back to the room at the fucking guest house, we were eating and like just like trying to get to know each other. He's very quiet, and for me, I don't know, like when there's nothing wrong with a quiet man. I have been with a quiet man before, but I feel like when you are quiet in an eerie way, you know what I'm saying, like in a very disturbing way, you're just like quiet, you know? Okay, sharp. Nonetheless, I'm busy telling him about myself. We're talking, we are bonding and everything. And then I go on Instagram. Now, remember guys, I've never, like, I don't know why, whenever I get into a relationship or like I'm in a talking stage with a guy, I don't really check their socials like that. But this day, something in me just said, nah man, check the socials. So I go and I check, the socials. And he's like, yeah, no, this is my handle painted, his handle, right? So I get to the handle, and on his handle, his private page, well, not private, but his personal page is tagged onto the bio. So I go to his page. When I get to his page, tell me where I see a fuck ton of pictures of him with another woman and babies and kids and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, who are these people? I'm like, hey, who are these people? He's like, oh, that's my ex-girlfriend. So I was like, you have your ex-girlfriend all over your Instagram? She's like, and then he's like, yeah, she died. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, she died last year from breast cancer. Oh, is it breast cancer? No, ovarian cancer. And this woman that he was dating was very famous and like very crucial to South African history, okay? Like, she's the granddaughter of South African history. I do not want to specify who it is, but if you get the hint, she's the granddaughter of pure South African history. She's the heir to our money, like our bills, our money. Yes, that is who she is. That's how powerful she is, that woman. So I was like, in my head now, I'm starting to do the math, né? So if you were dating, and he was telling me about how their relationship was, they used to go shopping, and then mind you, this guy's wearing Gucci, Versace, and Dior. But I'm checking the room that he's keeping in, guys. There's not even a headboard. There's some trap door in the ceiling, and it keeps flying open. I'm like, why did I put myself in such a situation, guys? Okay, sharp, Sana. He just tells me more about their relationship, and he's like, yeah, she was such a spoiled brat. The way he's talking about her, yeah, she was such a spoiled brat. You know, always used to have petty arguments about dumb stuff. Okay, sharp. Now remember, if you have not learned from my story time of lesion, then let me jog your memory. The minute a man starts talking shit about his ex, even when they are dead worst, just know that when you are in that picture, you are gonna be the one who is gonna be spoken shit about constantly. The way he's talking shit about the ex, imagine what he's gonna be saying about you. Sharp. So I let the whole thing slide. We hang out and everything, and then he wants to nyoba. I'm like, I'm not on my period. I'm like, I'm on my period. I'm sorry, I can't do anything. He's like, oh my gosh, I find that so disgusting. Sana, like, he's like, I find that so disgusting. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck should I do? I was the one who was given the ovary. I was born with the fucking ovary and the eggs. What am I supposed to do? If God decides that, you know what, you're gonna go through a period until you reach 50, then I have no fucking choice. My body does it. So he's like, no, I find that so fucking disgusting. He's like, yeah, even with my ex. Like, and he just referenced that ex. Like, sharp. He tells me how disgusting he finds menstrual cycles, how disgusting he finds pads, tampons, and panty liners and menstrual cups. He finds it so disgusting that women bleed through their vagina. And I'm gonna say it very clearly for the people who find it so disgusting that every woman on this planet bleeds, okay? Because you come from that blood anyway. Okay, as disgusting as it may sound, but you came from that blood created you, okay? In that fucking egg. Sharp. So he goes on a whole tangent about how disgusting he finds the whole thing and everything. And mind you, this guy would like manhandle me, not manhandle me, but like hold me tight here and cause like I said, he's a very big guy, you know? Sharp. And I told him like, I don't like that. And he's like, no, he has no soft spots left in him. You know, he's rough like that. And let me also not forget to say, while we're having a whole conversation, getting to know each other, right? He makes sure that he doesn't forget to mention how many years he spent in America and in Vegas. And, you know, he's like, you know, my American friends would love you. Like, he's specifying, my American friends would love you. Oh my gosh, you're so light-skinned. My Nigerian friends will not respect me as much if they meet you. Sharp. And he's also not forgetting to complain about food. Sharp. Then he proceeds to tell me that he does not drink, he does not smoke, he does not go to groove. I'm like, okay, but on his Instagram he had a picture of himself in a club. So I'm like to him, and mind you guys, he's cousins with this other South African fashion designer from Cape Town. So there's that designer from Cape Town, he's also an influencer. And on his pictures and his videos, this guy is always partying and grooving. And mind you, in some of the pictures, this guy is the Mr. Con artist is there in those pictures. Sharp. Now comes, fast forward, the following day, he wants to take content for his art, right? So he asked me if I can wear a piece and then we'll take videos and stuff. So we do that, but now the way, I'm a professional photographer. So if I'm trying to advertise like clothes or art and stuff, I do it in a very photographic manner. So I'm trying to teach him some tactics on how to gain traction from your pictures. And you don't need a fancy phone. Cool. Oh, and by the way, speaking of a fancy phone, this guy was using some other old iPhone and he was saying that no, he has another iPhone, but that one he's gonna sell it and like, why? And my thing is like, he was just so weird. Guys, I know my story time it's not maybe ring properly the way you want it to go there, but please understand me. Hey, this guy, it's like me having a Samsung there, and then kinali tweet more, but I'm always with the tweet, and then I'm trying to sell the Samsung that's brand new. And it doesn't make sense because the tweet is giving me problems. It's not charging. Like the SIM card thing will pop out and go back, and but you still want to sell the good one. Do you get me? I don't know if I'm making sense, but it was just weird for me. Cool. Now he's making me twerk on these fucking videos. But there's another video. We made 2 videos, but the second video was like much better than the first one that he was telling me to make with the scarf and even his sense of style. He's those guys who would, those guys who wear designer clothes but because they don't know how to style it, they look like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, like, do you have an aunt or an uncle in your family that likes to act rich, but they're actually really struggling in life? But they're wearing so many designer clothes, but they're really struggling in life. And even they always twanging, like when they talk to me, like, yar, you know, like even the one girls like, yar. I don't know how to explain it. Like, but if you get me, please understand me, guys. He's those type of guys. You know, he would wear a short sleeve, a tight heel, make sure it's very tight so that his muscles can, you know. And then he'll wear a scarf and then a cap and shades and then some baggy jeans with formal shoes, sharp nose formal shoes. That's his style. Okay, cool. Sharp. The first time I went to visit him, he was the only red flags I saw, he was constantly complaining about the food. And on the second day, like, he was like, no, let's take a walk to ShopRite. And those of you who are watching my content who shop at ShopRite, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? I used to shop at ShopRite back then, okay? I understand it's like very affordable and all that. However, me personally now, I'm not like, I do not buy things at ShopRite simply because I prefer like Checkers or Pick and Pay, but Woolies is always my first option. That's the first place I go. And Spar, because Spar is also proper. But this guy went straight, like he passed Spar, he passed everything. He was like, we're going to ShopRite. Okay. We get to ShopRite and then we buy some stuff. But while we were picking things out, he kept on like returning some of the stuff that I wanted. Like, I wanted Mazimba. He was like, I don't like this. He put it back. I was like, what else did I want? I wanted wine. Did this guy not, when I wanted wine, this guy decided to drop the other shoe and be like, yeah, I'm Mormon. Yeah. While you see all the time he spent in America, he joined a Mormon church. He became Mormon. He moved to Utah. And then he started a fucking Mormon church in Utah. And we all know what they say about the Mormon. And then it made sense why he kept on saying stuff to me like, you know, a woman's job is in the house. You should take care of the kids, cook, clean, do the laundry, take care of your husband. When I want sex, you have to give it to me. We're gonna have so many kids. And mind you, this guy has so many kids with this woman that died. The ex-girlfriend that died. So now I'm like, the more time I spend with this guy, then I start to ask myself, how did your ex survive with you? Like, what the fuck? Then he tells me, I remember I asked him like, yo, so your ex, the one who passed on, I'm sorry for her loss, but like, how did you guys manage to make things work out? Because she don't look Mormon for shit. And I know she's not Mormon because she's on the fucking internet and all her details are on the internet. I Googled her. And then he's like, no, we just made it work, but she had characteristics of a Mormon wife. Sharp. She tells me that I should now change the way I dress. I should no longer drink. And mind you, the time when I bought wine, it was a Niederberg wine. And I remember like I didn't have a corkscrew to open it. So I was like, yo, please open it for me because you're mucho, you're big, you're gonna open it for me. This guy barely tried to open that bottle for me, and then guess what he said? He's like, yeah, my Mormon ancestors are telling me that you should not drink. And let me tell you, first thing in the morning, rise and shine, he's preaching the Bible. Lord said, no one under his wing shall and will not And the way, like, okay guys, I'm not like, I don't read the fucking Bible, like, sorry to say, like, fucking and Bible in the same sentence, but I don't read the Bible back to back like that, you know. So I don't know all the scriptures and stuff. I do know some characters in the Bible. I do know the purpose of the Bible. I do pray. I go to church and everything. But I cannot recite the Bible. This guy started testing me with reciting the Bible, guys. And he did not forget to mention that in the Mormon church, when a woman is on her period, she should stay isolated and not disturbed by men. She should not be around men and everything. So I'm like, why are you telling me all this now? And he's like, well, because you're on your period. I'm like, and you're a man and you're here. The fuck? I told my best friend, I was like, friend, I'm visiting this guy, his guest house room, you know, and it's not going well. My friend is like, where the fuck did you go? And I also started questioning, why the fuck did I go? Guys, now fast forward, né? There was a time when this guy was like, I should buy lunch for us. There's nothing wrong with that, but for me personally, I don't have a problem with buying lunch for us from KFC. My problem comes when you don't prepare me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no woman likes spending her own money. And I feel like that's like, it's a very globally known thing. Women do not like to spend their own money. But we just started in this relationship. And you're already making me like jump hurdles to go and run and get food and walk miles. You know, this guy wanted to make me walk, I don't know how far. This was like, I think almost to where we wanted to get food, because he did not want to get an Uber, right? Almost a 40-minute walk to fucking KFC. When we get to KFC, I'm like, okay, what are we gonna order? Because I already had my order in mind, you know. Get to KFC, I was like, what are we gonna order? No, he wanted us to walk to KFC, ne? But I was like, that is way too far. I'm in pain. I'm not gonna walk 40 minutes down to KFC, or because you do not want to take an Uber. I was like, I requested the Uber. We got to KFC and then we ordered and then he made me pay because he don't like food. Sharp sana. And then I went home. But at this point, we have not gone on a date. We have not done anything of that sort. And then the second time I went to see him, this is when like it was like the last straw, right? So I go and visit this guy again for the second time, but on my way there, I got lit. Okay, I looked good. I got his place, not his place, but oh no, actually, before I went there, when I came home, I asked him, yo, how much are you paying at the guest house per day, you know, or per night? And he's like, he pays $550. So I was like, and you've been there for how long? He's like, for the past 3 months he's been there. $550 a day for the past 3 months in a dodgy ass guest house that even housed, there's this other guy from South Sudan, or I can't remember what country he's from, but apparently he's wanted. He's one of the most wanted criminals because he did a lot of fraud and scamming and stuff, and he's a millionaire from all those scamming and things, and he's in hiding at that guest house. That guest house is even housing those Mexican drug lords. And I know they were Mexican drug lords, guys, because they were literally sitting outside our room, like outside the room there, there's like a Porsche with couches and a table, and they were sitting there smoking cigarettes, wearing the fucking cowboy hats, and they clearly looked Mexican. And I've watched a lot of Mexican movies that had to do with drug lords and stuff in order to understand some stuff. Were they not discussing a shipment? Yeah, guys. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And that guy was so comfortable then to put it like into perspective of how dodgy this guest house is. Those Mexican guys even removed their guns while they were sitting. They just put it on the table and they just lit a cigarette and poured the tequila and started smoking and chilling with the guns on the table. Okay, cool. I go home. And I asked him about how much he's paying and da da da. And I was like, why don't you just go and get an Airbnb and pay monthly because it's a full apartment for yourself? He's like, no, he doesn't want to do that. That's when it made me feel like, you'd rather pay $550 a month instead of just not $550 a month, $550 a night. Instead of just paying the Airbnb for 1 month, and it's just gonna be way cheaper, especially in the area that you're in. But he wasn't thinking like that. Maybe I'm just an economist like that. But okay, cool. Okay, sharp. Second time I go and see him, guys, this is where shit went down. So I get to his place, you know, he was like, oh my gosh, she smells so nice, da, 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 da. Things went down, of course, because now this time I wasn't disgusting. I wasn't disgustingly on my period. So obviously things went down and all that. And again, when I wanted food, he complained about how people should fast. By people, he means me. I should fucking fast a week. Once a month, I should fast in 1 week, right? And during this whole thing, because I only saw him for a weekend, literally 2 nights. Was it 2 nights? I think it was 2 nights. I can't remember, whatever. I literally removed that guy from my memory. But while I was at his place, we went to Pick n Pay this time, thank God. Went to Pick n Pay, we got some food for the room, you know, and we got back to the room and we hung out. But actually the first night, he was like, let's go to a restaurant. I'm thinking, wow. I'm like, wow, okay, we finally going on a date. It's gonna be nice and da 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 da. Guys, we get to the restaurant, all he wanted to order is coffee. I said, we went to a restaurant, dressed so good, and all he wanted us to order was coffee. So you know what kind of a coffee I ordered? An Irish one. I ordered an Irish coffee because I said this shit is way too motherfucking surreal for me to handle. Cause how the fuck am I coming to see you? We haven't had dinner yet, and we are here at a restaurant, and all you're gonna tell me is that I must get coffee. There was even these other 2 handsome men who were ordering like ribs and stuff, who were sitting across us, who were staring at me, and I'm staring at them, and I'm like, yeah. No. Cool. And then we ended up going back to his fucking room, of course. But while we're at the room, tell me why the vibes are weird between him and this other cleaner lady there. They are making like sly comments to one another, and you know when like you're telling someone shit but you're not telling shit to them. So like, let's say like I'm telling this wall shit, but then I'm walking towards that direction and I'm like, that fucking wall thinks that she's better than me, she's gonna fucking piss me off, I shouldn't put the fuck out. But you're not telling the wall directly, or hey, I'm talking to you. You get me? I don't know if you get me. But he was doing that, and for me, that was like so gay. It was giving queer alert, you know. But okay, cool. I eventually asked him, I was like, what's your problem with this girl? And then he's like, nah, she's been acting weird with me ever since you've arrived. Don't make me the excuse, sweetheart. Okay, cool. Then the following morning we ordered breakfast, of course, and we hung out, and there was no dishes. I remember there was like, oh, the dishes were so disgusting and dirty, and this guy did not have body wash. He was using the Sunlight Green Bar, and I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with the Sunlight Green Bar, but I feel like as a grown man, how are you still washing with Sunlight Green Bar? Like, what's going on? And then he wanted us to take pictures in the Versace gown that he had. He was like, let's take pictures with the Versace gown. And I was like, no. Guys, there's one thing that cringes me is when people start taking pictures in like obviously designer clothing just for some pop on your socials, and it's not even like your lifestyle for real. For me, that's just so cringe. So I was like, no, I don't look good, so I don't want to take pictures in the gown. He's like, come on. I was like, no. Even the color just irked me. So I was like, nope, I'm good. Cool. Then he proceeds to tell me, I started asking him about him and the ex-girlfriend. Then he told me that now when the ex-girlfriend, before the ex-girlfriend died, she had their baby, but then their relationship started going down south, and that's when they broke up. And before she died, she wrote a list of people who are not welcome to her funeral, and he was one of them on that list. I actually want to research, like, why. Anna asked us, like, why weren't you invited to her wedding, to her funeral? Why would she uninvite you to her? She's dead. Even in her death, she doesn't want you around her. There must be something wrong with you, brother. I'm like, nope, there must definitely be something wrong with this guy. For a woman to even go as far as to write a list of people who are not welcome to her funeral, and you are part of that list, and y'all had just had a baby, something ain't right. So cool, I let that slide. The following day in the morning, he was packing like all his things from the cupboards, right? Packing all his stuff from the cupboard so that he can go, because he was going back home to Cape Town, to Eastern Cape, right? He said he's going back home to Eastern Cape. Guys, I thought that this guy just had like a few things. No. This guy went out in the morning, came back with 2 massive suitcases, like last number suitcases there, and he started unpacking that cupboard. Did he not have a fuck ton of stuff, guys? Like, the things couldn't even fit in all the bag. Everything that he had, it couldn't all fit in the bag. And then he proceeds to tell me that he wants to keep me close by, so that while he's out of town, he can send me money so that I can go and buy the denim jackets, so that for the orders that are coming in, so that I can give it, like, ship it to him, so that he can. I was like, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I am not here for hard life. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And this guy never used to send me money. I think the most he's ever sent me was 300 rand, but he's never really sent me money. He always has a problem when it comes to money. And he's those guys who be like, oh, you know, I don't like girls who are such gold diggers, girls who love materialistic things. Like, he doesn't like, what you call this thing? The gold digger girls, girls who just love money, girls who girls, the way he would talk, it's like he would say things in a way to maybe humble me, like, babe, I hope you're not those girls who just love money, who loves this and this and this. And let me tell you, sweetheart, I love money. Yes, I do. And I will say with my chest, I love money. And the reason why I say I love money is because I know how to make my own. And yes, as much as when I'm in a relationship, I would love my man to send me money. But if he doesn't, sweetheart, I still got me. I can do my own. I can do without you. I really can. Cool. So he would like just go on about like, yeah, you know, girls who like to wear too much makeup, girls who love buying expensive makeup. He was just shitting on all of us pretty girls, and I really hope you do not come across a man like that, ladies, because let me tell you, you go suffer. You go suffer. That guy was trying to put me in the suffering trap, and I was like, not gonna fucking have it. So fast forward, he's packing up his shit in those bags, right? And then he starts having a verbal altercation with this cleaner lady that he's been having like a weird fight with, and I don't understand what's happening. Eventually the cleaner says, hey, you've been painting in this room and now you got paint all over the lace, and I'm not gonna wash that paint because I've warned you about this shit before, so you're gonna wash that lace before you check out. Did this guy not be like, babe, please wash the lace for me? You know what I did? I took the lace off, I put it in the washing machine, and I just let the water run and I left it. I was like, who's gonna go and scrub shit? He was like, I'll buy you the vinegar and the stuff that helps to dissolve the paint and all. I'm not doing that! And I didn't do that. I just threw that thing in the lace into the washing machine, and I was like, yeah, he'll deal with it then, and because I'm not fucking dealing with it. And even that day I was like, you know what, I'm fucking going home. Yeah. I was like, I'm going home. I cannot handle with this. Like, this guy gonna put me through hell and back. Like, yeah, I'm going to suffer. Like, he's trying to put me in that life where I'm just gonna tolerate everything and be like, no, baby, don't worry, I got you. No, babe, I know it's really bad, but I got you. And I genuinely don't got you. I was like, nope, sweetheart, this is not gonna be my life. Okay, we just met. You've made me feel bad for wanting food. You haven't even like provided me transport money to come and see you as a man. And on top of that, you make me feel bad for liking nice things that you're not even providing for me. You're making me feel bad for that. Fuck off. So then this lady came. She was like, yeah, where's the curtain? Did you manage to wash the curtain? And I was like, the curtain is in the washing machine. Thank God. At the same time, it's hit load shedding. So as I'm getting ready to leave, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna leave. He's like, no, babe, we're gonna go. I wanna drop. He's like, no, I'm booking myself another Airbnb, and then I'm gonna we're gonna go with all the suitcases and stuff to that Airbnb, right? Sharp, cool. I did not know that this guy was planning an escape. When I say he was planning an escape, he deliberately waited for that lady, that cleaner, who was harassing him for the curtain and for the money, because she kept on saying, when are you gonna pay? When are you gonna pay? When are you gonna pay? And he kept on like saying, I don't remember, because he kept on like going all the way around the corner to talk to this girl so that I didn't hear what they were saying. And then this lady leaves to go and buy some more food for the guest house, right? So while she leaves, he runs into the room. He's like, let's get everything, let's leave, we are leaving. Sir, what do you mean? What do you mean? Guys, did we not have to drag all those last number suitcases out of that guest house quick in a motherfucking hurry, get out of the gate, and then we were waiting for a bolt? And you know what I did while we were waiting for the bolt? I just took that bottle of wine that I had bought the night before that he clearly did not want to open, and I managed to open it for myself. And I was just drinking it from the bottle, because at this point I'm just like, why am I even here? Like, why did you choose me? I am not the strong soldier. I'm a very, very soft soldier. I do not have the rough life in me anymore, okay? I grew up rough and I've had enough. And it's time for me to shake my ass on a yacht in Dubai. In a motherfucking thong. Okay, fine, guys. Eventually a bolt comes, we load all those suitcases, and the bolt even went down. Load everything into those suitcases, and when we get to this next Airbnb, so-called, it's literally in the middle of Bramfontein, ne? And it was so raggedy. It looked like a whore house, okay? It was so raggedy. It looked like a whore house. There was no hot water in that fucking building, because I remember he tried to shower. There was no hot water, ne? And the bed was like, you know, and the bed is like, you can clearly see someone has been spending their life laying in the middle of their bed. The bed goes like this, guys. There's paper cups around the room. Yeah, there's a bag of condoms in the corner. Yeah. And I was like, you know what, I have to go. I was like to him, you know what, babes, I have to go home. I genuinely have to go home. He's like, why? I was like, no, I'm working tomorrow. They called me, and mind you, the following day was a Sunday. I was like, no, they're calling me tomorrow at Sanlam. I genuinely just have to go home, you know, because my clients are coming and stuff. Yeah, I was like, no, my clients are coming, I have to go back to work, you know. And then she was like, yeah, cool. Then he's supposed to give me money to go home. This guy's like, no, do you have cash on you? I was like, yeah, me stupid. I was like, yeah, no, I have cash on me, I'm gonna go home. I think I just really wanted to leave. I really just wanted to get home. I was like, yeah, no, I have cash on me. He's like, cool, use that 200 rand on you that you have on you to get home, and then I'll send you the money when you get there. Did he send the money? Never. He never did. And mind you guys, for those of you who don't know, I feel like that's such a snobbish thing to say, but for those who do not know, I actually have anxiety. So, and sometimes my anxiety can get so bad to the point where I get like physically sick and I throw up. So there's a time, this is literally the following day after I left this asshole's presence in Joburg, and I came back home, and then he was calling me. You know how he likes to fucking video call, so he was video calling me from Santon. He's like, and mind you, yes, this is what used to remember, he complains about food, right? And he's never taken me out on a date. Tell me why as soon as I get home, when I check my social media, well, not my social media, when I check my WhatsApp now, and I check his status, this guy is sitting there at Santon by Tasha's having a big ass feast of a lunch. Gunman! And I'm like, this guy, he's so fucking stingy. That is like the worst man to ever end up with ladies. Like, if ever you meet a guy one day and he's so stingy, even when it comes to your love language, which is like maybe food or gifting and stuff, like, then I feel like you should just leave, because you're gonna subject yourself to a life of torture and suffering and little to none romance, and that's not a guy that loves you. And I'm so glad I wasn't in love with him, because nothing he did touched me. Like, I wasn't touched by anything that he did. So yeah, I had an anxiety attack, and I called him. He was calling me during this anxiety attack, because like he likes to video call. So I picked it up, and he saw that I wasn't okay. He was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I have anxiety, and I'm just not okay, and I don't understand why am I having it. Because like, whenever I have anxiety, right, because I learned this through like a friend of mine who was a therapist. Like, we're no longer friends. I don't know what happened. We just drifted. So every time I'd have like an anxiety attack, I just ask myself, like, okay, what is the problem? Why am I having anxiety? Why am I getting scared or whatnot? And then the answer will just like come to me, and I'll just randomly calm down. So this date wasn't happening. My technique of calming down was not happening. And when he called, I took it as an opportunity to vent, because I did not have anyone to vent to at the time, you know. And then guess what he says on the phone while I'm crying? I'm like, I don't know, I have so much anxiety, and I feel sick. I'm starting to get physically sick. He's like, oh yeah, no, I don't do that. He's like, yeah, no, I don't do that, because I'm healed. I don't have no anxiety, so I think you gotta get help, just not from me though. Okay, sir. And we just never spoke ever again. Yeah. And I also googled the ex-girlfriend who died. Well-respected woman. And I feel like I now understand why she uninvited him from her funeral, because I also wouldn't want that man at my funeral. And I'm pretty sure that had I stuck around and begged him, he's like those guys who want to be begged. And then he criticized one of my cousin's bodies, because I was showing him like a picture of my cousin, and he's like, nah, she has no ass. I don't like that. None of my American friends would like that. But anyways, guys, that's the story of how I dated a Mormon motherfucker. And yeah, for those who are Mormon, please do not criticize me or crucify me on your cross. Not on your cross, but like, do not crucify me or anything. It's my experience with a Mormon man, and I personally would never ever date a Mormon man ever again in my life, and let alone just a man with his characteristics ever. So yes, I'm happy with my man right now. He's not weird like that. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.